What's coming next will open your eyes to something you've never imagined. Archangel Michael says, the battle you're facing, the forces of darkness, and the temptations in your path are not in vain. Do not let them deceive you, you are stronger than they appear. If you're reading this right now, it's because you've been chosen to hear a divine warning. The message that you're about to receive is not just a reminder of God's protection, but a revelation of His greater plan for your life. Each step you've taken to outsmart the snake in your family, every move you've made to rise above the challenges, is part of a divine strategy that God has set in motion. The snake may have tried to slither its way into your family, creating division, chaos, and confusion, but remember, it's not the end of the story. The forces trying to tear you down are actually propelling you towards a greater purpose. You have faced temptations and deceptions that seemed nearly impossible to overcome, but God has been watching over you every step of the way. He knows what's in your heart, and He has seen the strength you've shown, even when you doubted yourself. Now is the time to trust that God's plan for your life is far greater than the deceitful schemes of the enemy. Archangel Michael says, you may have outsmarted the snake, but what you don't yet see is how God has already defeated the enemy on your behalf. His hand is guiding you, even in the moments when you feel most uncertain. God has always known the path you would walk, and He has prepared you for this moment of victory. Type Amen to claim the divine blessings God has for you. You are not alone in this journey. Archangel Michael, a mighty protector, is standing by your side, guarding you against the attacks of the enemy. There is no darkness strong enough to overcome the light of God's love and protection that surrounds you. Though the enemy may attempt to invade your family, planting seeds of discord and confusion, God's light is shining brighter than any shadow. You have outsmarted the serpent's tricks, but God's plan for you extends far beyond this moment. The attacks you faced were never meant to break you, they were meant to build you. Each challenge you faced has strengthened your faith, and God has been using these experiences to equip you for a higher purpose. Archangel Michael says, remember, the battle is not yours alone. You are never fighting by yourself. The divine warriors of heaven are with you, supporting you in every step you take. When you stand firm in faith, you release the power of heaven into your situation. No matter how cunning the enemy may seem, they are powerless against God's divine intervention. Your trust in God will always turn the tide in your favor, even when it seems impossible. The victory has already been secured by the hands of the Almighty, and now it's time for you to walk boldly in the truth of His plan for you. Type Amen if you believe that God's protection is keeping you safe from every attack. Even when you think you've outsmarted the snake in your family, God's plan goes beyond what you can see in the moment. You may think that the conflict, betrayal, or deception you faced was a setback, but in reality, it is all part of a greater plan that will lead to your success. What you're experiencing right now is the preparation for the bigger picture God has already painted for your life. It's easy to focus on the present struggles, but God is looking at the future He has already set in motion for you. Archangel Michael says, every twist and turn you've experienced has been divinely orchestrated to bring you closer to your destiny. There is no coincidence in the timing of your life. Every moment of struggle has been a stepping stone to prepare you for something greater. While the snake in your family may have tried to deceive you, it has only strengthened your resolve and brought you closer to the manifestation of God's will. You are not meant to stay in a place of struggle forever. You are on the brink of a breakthrough, and every obstacle you've overcome is leading you to the place where God will reveal His full plan for you. The enemy may try to intimidate you, but you have been equipped to outlast every attack. The greatest part of God's plan is that it's always working in your favor, even when you don't see the full picture. Like this video to declare that God's plan is unfolding perfectly in your life. As you reflect on the struggles you faced, it's important to remember that the battle has already been won in the spiritual realm. What you see manifesting in the physical is just a reflection of what God has already secured in heaven. Every challenge, every hurdle, and every attempt by the enemy to steal your peace has already been defeated. The snake tried to slither into your family, but God has already crushed its head. Archangel Michael reminds you. Though you may not see the full extent of victory in the moment, you must walk by faith, not by sight. God's plan is perfect, and His timing is impeccable. When you walk through the fire, you will come out stronger, and the enemy will not be able to touch you. You have already received victory through Jesus Christ, and now it's time for you to live in that truth. The enemy's plans have been thwarted, and God's plans for your life are unfolding in a way that will bring you into a future full of peace and prosperity. It may seem like the challenges you face are insurmountable, but remember, you are not fighting alone. You are supported by a host of angels and divine beings, and you have the authority to overcome every attack of the enemy. Trust in the victory that God has already promised you, and walk with confidence knowing that the outcome has already been secured. Type 333 if you are walking in the victory God has already won for you. One of the hardest parts of walking in faith is trusting in God's timing. We live in a world that demands instant results, but God's plan operates on a much higher level. His timing is perfect, and He knows exactly when to reveal the next step in your journey. The waiting season can be frustrating, but it is during this time that God is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Archangel Michael says, "Patience is not just a virtue, it's a weapon." It is through your patience and faith that you will see the hand of God move in ways that will astonish you. Trust that God's timing is always right, even when it doesn't make sense. His plan for your life is not rushed, and neither should you be. Every moment of waiting is building up the strength and resilience that will carry you through the next chapter of your life. You may feel as though your breakthrough is taking too long, but God is setting everything into place for the perfect moment. When you trust in His timing, you are aligning yourself with His perfect will. Rest assured, when the time is right, God will open doors that no man can shut and lead you into a future filled with blessings and purpose. Type 999 to declare your trust in God's perfect timing. Every trial you've faced, every moment of pain, has been a vessel for your blessings. The snake in your family may have tried to bring chaos, but it has also prepared you for the blessings that are about to overflow in your life. What the enemy meant for evil, God will turn around for your good. You've already proven that you have the strength and wisdom to overcome the challenges in front of you, and now it's time to receive the rewards of your faithfulness. Archangel Michael assures you, what you have endured has not been in vain. You are about to see the manifestation of the blessings God has stored up for you. The season of struggle is ending, and a new season of favor and abundance is beginning. You may not see it yet, but the spiritual realm is already working to bring about the blessings that are yours. Your faith has already positioned you for a great outpouring of God's love and favor. When you remain faithful through the trials, you open yourself up to a harvest of blessings that will transform every area of your life. God has seen your heart, and He is ready to reward you for your perseverance. Every tear, every moment of doubt, has been counted, and God will bless you in ways that will exceed your expectations. Type 777 if you're ready to receive the blessings God has prepared for you. As you continue your journey, remember that God has a plan for your life that is greater than anything the enemy can throw your way. You have outsmarted the snake, but this is just the beginning of the divine victory that is unfolding. Trust in God's plan, trust in His timing, and walk in the knowledge that He is with you every step of the way. The battle is already won, and you are more than a conqueror through Christ. Archangel Michael says, "Walk in the authority that God has given you. You are a child of the Most High, and no weapon formed against you will prosper." The snake has been defeated, and God's divine plan for your life is now being revealed in powerful ways. You are standing at the threshold of your breakthrough, and the glory of God will be made evident in your life. Archangel Michael says, "You've fought with strength, and you've outsmarted the serpent that lurked in your family. However, understand this, the test is not over. What you've conquered was just one battle in a much larger war. You've been through so much to get to this point, overcoming lies, betrayal, confusion, and pain. Now that you've defeated the snake, you may think that everything will be easy, but God has a message for you. The aftermath is where the real challenge begins. It's easy to think that once you outsmart the enemy, things will smooth over, but the enemy doesn't give up so easily. You've made it through the hardest parts, yes, but now comes the test of endurance, patience, and faith. There will be aftershocks in the aftermath of your victory. You must remain vigilant, because even though you've won the battle, there are other forces at work that will try to test your resilience. As Archangel Michael warns, the serpent may have been defeated, but the aftermath is where you are shaped into who you are meant to become. Your victory was not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter. God has bigger plans for you, and He wants to ensure you are prepared for them. You've won, yes, but now it's time to walk through the consequences of your success with wisdom and grace. After you've faced the serpent and defeated it, it might feel like you can finally breathe easy. But the reality is that the journey isn't over. The aftermath of this victory will test your endurance in ways you hadn't expected. Archangel Michael says, "Endurance is what you will need in this next phase." The enemy will try to weaken your resolve by sending challenges that seem insignificant, but they are designed to test your stamina. You may find that the peace you thought would follow your victory is being shaken by new struggles. These struggles are not meant to break you, but to refine you. This is the time when your faith must be fortified. What God is doing now is preparing you for the greater blessings ahead. The peace you have in your heart is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign that God is strengthening you from within. Stay vigilant and alert. The enemy may not strike with obvious force, but subtle attacks will attempt to undermine your peace. These are the tests of endurance, when everything feels calm on the surface, but the pressure is building quietly beneath. This is your time to stand firm in your faith and trust that God's purpose is being fulfilled through each challenge you face. In the aftermath of your victory, another crucial test will arise, the test of patience. Archangel Michael warns, patience is key during this time. There will be moments when you are tempted to rush ahead or give up altogether, but remember, God's timing is perfect. You've defeated the snake, but the consequences of your actions and the shifting dynamics in your family will require careful attention and patience. It's important to understand that victory is not always immediate. Just because you've triumphed over the enemy doesn't mean the effects of that victory will be instant. You will face a period where things seem to stall or move slowly, and this can be frustrating. But trust that God's plan is still in motion. Every delay, every moment of waiting, is part of His process to align everything perfectly in your life. Patience doesn't mean passivity, it means continuing to move forward even when things aren't going as quickly as you'd hoped. During this time, God is refining your character, preparing you for the fullness of His blessings. Remember, the best things come to those who wait, and God is about to release something incredible in your life, but you must endure the waiting period with grace and trust. Type 777 if you are ready to embrace patience in the aftermath of your victory. Now that you've defeated the serpent, you may feel a surge of relief. But Archangel Michael warns, faith is the ultimate test that follows your victory. The enemy will attempt to shake your faith in God, making you question everything you've fought for. You've come so far, but this next phase will challenge your ability to trust God when things seem uncertain. Even though you've outsmarted the snake, the enemy will try to plant seeds of doubt. It's in these moments that your faith will be tested the most. God is asking you to trust Him fully, even when things don't make sense or when the enemy continues to try to attack from different angles. It's easy to believe when everything is going well, but true faith is tested in the storms. The aftermath of your victory is the time when you must cling to God with everything you have. When challenges arise, do not let them move you from your faith. Stand firm, knowing that God is with you and that He has already ordained your victory. Trust in His plan, even when you can't see the full picture. This is the test of your faith, the time when you are called to believe even when the situation seems bleak. As you navigate through the aftermath, you'll face decisions that require wisdom beyond your own understanding. Archangel Michael says, the test of wisdom will be crucial in the aftermath of your victory. You've conquered the snake, but now you must make decisions that align with God's purpose for your life. You've learned a lot through your trials, but now is the time to apply that knowledge with discernment. God will guide you, but you must seek His wisdom before making decisions. The enemy may try to cloud your judgment with confusion or pressure you into making hasty decisions. You need wisdom to navigate the changes in your family, your relationships, and your circumstances. The consequences of your actions in this phase will shape the course of your future, so it's important to pause, seek God's guidance, and act with careful thought. This is the time when your ability to hear God's voice and follow His leading will be tested. Trust that God is with you, and He will provide the wisdom you need. Be still, listen closely, and allow His wisdom to guide you through this phase of your journey. The path ahead is bright, but you need God's wisdom to walk it with confidence and grace. In the aftermath, the test of perseverance will be essential. The victory may feel like it's in the past, but there is still much work to be done. Archangel Michael says, perseverance will be the key to maintaining the ground you've gained. Don't allow complacency to set in. The enemy may try to make you think that the worst is over, but there will always be challenges that require your resilience. Perseverance is not just about enduring hardship, it's about continuing to move forward, even when you don't see immediate results. You've won the battle, but the enemy may still attempt to distract you or derail your progress. This is the time when you must keep pushing forward, staying focused on the goal God has set for you. The road ahead will require determination, but you have everything you need to persevere. Your victory wasn't the end, it was the beginning. Now, you must carry that momentum and continue forward, trusting that God will continue to strengthen you. Each step you take in perseverance will lead you closer to the fullness of the blessings God has in store for you. Keep your eyes on the prize, and remember that God is walking with you every step of the way. The aftermath of your victory over the snake in your family is not a time to relax, but a time to strengthen yourself for what's to come. Archangel Michael says, this is a season of refinement, where your character will be shaped into something stronger, wiser, and more aligned with God's purpose for your life. You've faced challenges, and you've triumphed. But now, you must hold on to the lessons learned and apply them to your future. As you face the tests of endurance, patience, faith, wisdom, and perseverance, remember that God is with you. His plan for you is unfolding, and each test is part of your preparation for the next season of blessing. Your victory over the snake was just the beginning of a greater journey. Stay strong, stay faithful, and trust that God's timing and guidance will continue to lead you. Archangel Michael says, you fought valiantly and defeated the snake that slithered in your path, but understand this, the battle you've won is only the beginning. What awaits you is a new challenge, one that will test your resilience, your faith, and your purpose. The snake in the grass may have tried to deceive you, cause destruction, and sow confusion, but you have emerged victorious, standing stronger than ever. However, this victory does not mean the war is over, it means God has a greater purpose ahead for you. You've already defeated the enemy, outsmarted the deception, and stood tall in the face of adversity. But the question you must ask yourself now is, are you ready for the next challenge? You may think you've earned a break, but God is preparing you for a higher level of purpose and impact. The battle against the snake was just a warm-up, and now God is calling you to rise even higher. It's easy to think that once you've overcome a major obstacle, you can rest. But God's challenge for you is ongoing. Archangel Michael says, victory is never the end, it's just the beginning of something even greater. You've won this battle, but now the real challenge begins, the challenge to stay on course, remain focused, and step boldly into the next chapter of your life. What you've faced so far has prepared you for what's coming next, and it's time to embrace it with confidence and unwavering faith. You may feel relief now that the snake in the grass has been exposed and defeated. But Archangel Michael says, you may not see it yet, but God's challenge before you is bigger than you think. You've won one battle, but this victory has positioned you for something much greater. The enemy may have been a threat in your family, your work, or your relationships, but God has bigger things in store for you now. This victory was necessary to prepare you for the next stage of your destiny. The next challenge you will face won't necessarily be more difficult, but it will require you to step into a new level of authority and trust in God. God has been preparing you for this moment. Your experiences, your victories, and even your setbacks have all led to this. Now, God is ready to expand your influence, deepen your faith, and push you toward greater growth. You are entering a new season where your ability to handle the next challenge will be the key to unlocking the blessings God has promised you. Just because you've defeated the snake doesn't mean the road ahead will be without obstacles. In fact, the next challenge may be more subtle, more insidious, and more internal. Archangel Michael warns, the hardest battles are often the ones fought within. It's not always the external enemy you must fight, but the internal battles of doubt, fear, and temptation. The next challenge is about internal strength and relying on God's wisdom to navigate the complexities of your journey. You've been chosen for something greater than you realize. The challenge ahead of you is about stepping fully into your purpose. Archangel Michael says, you are on the cusp of your divine destiny, and God's challenge is not just to fight battles, but to live out the full potential He has placed inside of you. The victory over the snake was necessary to prepare you for the next stage of your journey, one that will require you to live according to the fullness of your purpose. This is not the time to shrink back or doubt your ability. It's easy to become comfortable after a victory, to rest on your laurels and enjoy the peace that comes from overcoming obstacles. But God is calling you to step into something greater. Your victory wasn't just for your benefit, it was to prepare you to walk in your divine calling. Whether that calling is in your career, your family, your ministry, or your personal life, the time is now to embrace the challenge of walking fully in God's purpose for you. Living out your purpose will require courage, faith, and trust. You may not know exactly where the path leads, but God is faithful, and He will guide you. Archangel Michael reminds you, God's challenge isn't about knowing every detail of the future. It's about trusting Him in each step. The next phase of your life will require you to rely on God's leading and take bold steps in the direction He's calling you. The challenge before you is not a setback, but an opportunity to walk in the fullness of who God created you to be. Type 999 to declare your readiness to step into your divine purpose. As you face God's new challenge, it's important to remain grounded. Archangel Michael says, the higher you go, the more you need to stay rooted in your faith. The enemy will try to distract you with things that seem important, but staying grounded in God's word and His truth will keep you strong. The victory you've won is just the beginning, but maintaining your spiritual footing is what will sustain you through the next phase. The enemy may not directly attack you, but he will try to distract you, confuse you, or pull you away from the path that God has for you. This is why it's so important to remain connected to your faith, to keep your eyes on the prize, and to lean on God for strength. Staying grounded means staying true to who you are and whose you are. Your foundation in God will be your rock, especially when the challenges seem overwhelming. The higher you climb, the more important it becomes to stay rooted in your relationship with God. The challenges ahead may seem like they're coming at you from all directions, but God's promise is that He will never leave you or forsake you. As you rise, your faith must rise with you. Archangel Michael encourages you, the stronger your foundation in God's Word, the higher you can rise without falling. Type 444 to strengthen your foundation and stay grounded in God's truth. God's timing is always perfect, even when it feels like things are moving too slow or too fast. Archangel Michael reminds you, God is never early, and He is never late. His timing is always perfect, and even in the midst of the challenge, His timing will guide you. The next challenge you face will require patience, trust, and the understanding that God is orchestrating everything in your life for a purpose. Even though you've won this battle, you must understand that God's challenge for you is about the long term. The enemy may try to rush you or make you feel as though things aren't happening quickly enough, but God's timing is what you need to focus on. Trust that what He is doing in your life is happening exactly when it should, and don't allow the pressure of the world to push you ahead of His plan. You've already seen the victory over the snake, but now you must wait for the next door to open. While you wait, keep your focus on God's perfect timing. He has already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. Archangel Michael assures you, your breakthrough is coming at the perfect time. Trust that God's timing will reveal your next steps. As you face the next challenge, prayer will be one of your greatest tools. Archangel Michael says, prayer is the key that unlocks the doors to your victory. Continue to pray, remain steadfast in your communication with God, and watch how He moves in your life. Your battle may not be over, but with focused prayer, you can navigate this challenge with confidence, knowing that God is always by your side. In times of uncertainty or pressure, prayer will keep you grounded and focused on God's will. The enemy may try to distract you, make you feel overwhelmed, or even cause doubt to creep into your heart. But through prayer, you align yourself with God's purpose, and you invite His guidance into every decision. Archangel Michael reminds you, never underestimate the power of prayer. It's in your conversations with God that you will find your strength and your direction. God hears every prayer you offer. He knows the desires of your heart, and He is working behind the scenes to bring about His perfect plan for your life. Keep praying, keep believing, and stay faithful, for God's will be done in your life. Through prayer, you'll find the strength and wisdom to rise above every challenge. You've already defeated the snake in the grass, but God's challenge before you is only beginning. Archangel Michael says, this victory is just the first step in a journey that will stretch your faith, sharpen your purpose, and bring you closer to the destiny God has planned for you. You are being prepared for something greater, and every challenge you face is part of God's divine plan for your life. Now is the time to stay grounded, trust in God's timing, and remain faithful as you step into the next phase of your journey. God's challenge will require your full commitment, but with Him by your side, you are more than capable of rising to the occasion. Keep your eyes fixed on the prize and know that He is with you every step of